Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Ashley Kay, and today I'm going to be working on some journaling pages in my daily creative journal. If this is something that you enjoy, please stick around and watch with me. I'm going to be talking at you today because I have found recently that I am in a position where I am able to do a little more self-care than I have before, which is nice because it not only helps me journal more consistently and be able to record more consistently, but it also opens up a self-care door that wasn't really there before. So my son has started going to preschool 3 days a week. So I get about 4 hours a day without my 4-year-old in the morning, which is really nice. Before this year, I was working, so I would drop off my son at daycare, and then I would go to work. And then I would pick him up, and then I would come home, and I just had very, very little downtime, and I was burnt out very quickly. But this year, there's a little more wiggle room for me. So what you're seeing right now, before I go on with talking about self-care, this is a composition notebook that I have kind of covered the front. You got to see that a little bit. I did some collage and some painting on it, and it is now my cheap art journal because I don't want to ruin. I have so many art journals, so many multimedia journals that I keep meaning to do things in, but I just don't want to ruin them with my bad art. And so I kind of made that because it's less pressure to do well in a composition notebook, I guess. We can talk more about that another day, but I really want to talk about the self-care and my son going to preschool. So since he goes 4 hours for 3 days a week, I get some more time to myself to do things. And I really struggle because I tend to want to do things that are productive. I want to come home, I want to scrub floors, I want to vacuum, I want to do dishes, the laundry. But I've kind of had to, and my husband's had to kind of remind me that it is okay to take that time for myself. It is okay to do things for me during that time instead of trying to do housework or things like that. And sometimes self-care is cleaning your house, but for me, I find a lot of time it is not. So I just want to talk a little bit about some things I do for self-care. And these things that I'm going to talk about are kind of like upper level self-care. These are not the things that I do when I'm not in a good headspace or when I'm struggling emotionally. Can you hear my son yelling in the background? He's downstairs playing. So this is kind of like upper level self-care. These are the things that I do when I'm already in a good headspace. So something that I have really enjoyed recently is going for a walk in a local park, just me, and going and walking around. We have a lot of historic parks, and so I like to go and walk around and read the little placards that talk about the historical stuff and read all the names and the dedication wall. And it's very nice to get outside and to get that time. I have also been riding my stationary bike more again. For a while, I was not doing that because I just didn't feel like I could devote that time to riding a stationary bike when I had to take care of my son and clean the house and all these things, cook dinner. But those things are important. Getting some physical exercise is important, and it really does help me get a better mindset. Another thing that I guess can fall into like the cleaning category is washing my sheets or like changing my sheets out. because there's just something about sleeping in clean sheets that helps me be a little bit more balanced. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, they probably don't need to be changed out as often as I do sometimes, but it's nice to have those. And then another thing that I like to do is I like to go outside and I like to eat my lunch or have a snack or just kind of be outside. I don't even have to eat. Just sit out on my deck and look over my back porch and my backyard while the dogs are roaming around. So those are just some things that I have been doing to take care of myself. And I want to encourage you to also take some time to, you know, take care of yourself. It's not selfish to take time for yourself. It is not like a personality flaw to be deciding that you need to do something for you. Despite what you might have been told by society, taking time for you and being quote unquote unproductive is not a bad thing. So, and that's where I'm going to stop talking about self-care and I'm going to focus a little bit more on the journaling. So those first 2 pages were Labor Day and the day after Labor Day. And you saw me coloring in a stamped image. That stamped image came in some Happy Mail a really long time ago. And I have been working. You saw that little art journal that I made, or that I decorated, I guess. And I have been working a little bit more on my doodling / art skills. I've been doing, I mean, the paper is not great quality, but I have been, there's no pressure to do something good when it's not good quality, right? I find that when I'm in a regular art journal, there's a lot of pressure to make it like an art piece, like a work of art, and I just can't. So I have been doing some coloring with colored pencils and some gouache and watercolor, which is nice. And now that I hear my son coming upstairs, I'm going to pause this. All right, now that he has been redirected, I believe that I was talking about my little art journal that I made myself. And so basically, I've just been practicing, trying to get my technique, I guess, down, blending with some colored pencils and alcohol markers. The alcohol markers are really awful on that paper, by the way, just so you know. But it's been nice to kind of have that no pressure outlet. So now what I'm doing is I'm showing you my little, I don't know what they are. They are like a kid's dauber set, dot daubers, and I don't remember who hauled them a while back. I don't remember if it was Never Hopeless by Elizabeth or AJ's Inspired Life, but they are called Doodle Hugs, and they are just like, I think they're called Dot and Dab. I'll try and link them below where I got them from Amazon. But they're kind of the dupe for that. I don't know if it's Tim Holtz or what it is. The distress stain in a thing that you see some YouTubers doing on their pages. And I've always really liked them, but I'm not, now that they are retired, the Tim Holtz or whatever they are, they're really expensive and I'm not about to pay that. But these were pretty well reasonable on Amazon and I like how they work. The only problem is, if you were paying attention, is that they don't come out very easily. You have to put a lot of pressure in the tip to make the ink flow. But once it's flowing, it looks really great. I really love it. And so on that Wednesday page, I put down a lot of color because it was my son's first day of preschool. And so I just kind of put some of his favorite colors down, and I was trying to do this Dr. Seuss washi, which apparently is super old, and I just threw away because it was sticking to itself and not useful. Unfortunately, that's how it goes sometimes. That is the little survival kit they gave parents. It came with tissues and a tea bag and some chocolate kisses. it was just very nice. And then what I'm doing is I am creating a photo grid with the app Photo Grid. And I'm just choosing some pictures from my son's first day of school. And I'm going to print them off. So I just use that, like you saw. I chose the pictures I wanted, and then it put them into a picture. I had to resize it to a 4x6, but then once I did, I can just manipulate the pictures on there, get them centered, zoom in or out if I needed to, and then I just print them off with whatever I can send them to print at, Walmart. I use the Walgreens app because I always have really good coupons, sometimes 50% coupons. And then I just send them off and they get printed really quick. And in fact, I think the next video clip that's going to come up, I'm going to do a couple more things here, but I think the next video clip that's going to come up from my editing is going to be a clip of me having the pictures and cutting them out. So it's very easy and has been my go-to for a really long time, and it's a little expensive, I guess, but if you do if you do use the coupons, it's not that bad. And since I don't have a printer that's any good, I just use the app. And here we are. Here are the pictures that you just saw me, and a few others that you just saw me arranging on my phone app. And so it was my son's first day of preschool, and the preschool uses an app to check them in and check them out, and to send messages back and forth to the parents, and to share pictures with the parents. So I just downloaded some of the pictures from the app and used those because it was just really nice to have those. The two pictures that I'm working with right there are from one of the ones that I took and one of the ones the preschool took. So they had on his first day, because he did not start when preschool started, on their first day they had a fire drill. And so when they were going outside for the fire drill, he tripped and fell and skinned his knee, and that's what one of the pictures was. Of the teacher had sent me a picture showing me that he had gotten hurt, which I appreciated. And so I found this Care Bears book at a thrift store. It's one of those easy readers, but I bought it so that I could use the pictures. And this little picture of Funshine Bear falling while they're skating was just really perfect for that day. And he was hurt a little bit, but mostly he's just a Leo, and so it was the end of the world, and he was fine once he got some Band-Aids. So I kind of put the two pictures there of how his preschool day started and how it ended with getting some ice cream, and I just really love how that picture kind of made the page, that picture from the book. And then this picture here of our two old dogs. We like to take our dogs for walks in the park. And so this is the picture of when we took them on Labor Day. And I'm just sticking that one in there. And then my pages are done for this session. I hope that you enjoyed them. If you did, please subscribe and comment down below which page was your favorite that I made today. And I will journal with you all again really soon. And I hope that you come back and stick around for more. I'm linking my new Instagram down below. Go ahead and check that out. And I will talk to you all very soon. Bye.